Hey, good morning. Good morning. Day 2. It's still quiet. Just starting off the morning, getting myself ready to face another day here. As I told you yesterday, we're today honing in on our 10-point perspective. We're going to be working on, I guess, the gap and anything else that the professor is going to share with us. Again, today we're actually looking at what we have presented, trying to get some pointers to clean it up, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, on Thursday we do our defense. Maybe we present what we have written, and we get pretty much get critiqued by the professor and by our peers, and get some feedback that's going to help us to go back home and really hone in on what we need to make changes and kind of steer us in the direction that we need to go. So this is day 2, and I'm excited. I really am. Looking forward to see what happens. I hope you all that are following me are enjoying thus far what I'm saying. So I'll come back this afternoon and tell you what we found out, what I found, how I did. Not really, how I felt I did. And what steps I can bring to you to help you to prepare for the second day of your residency, or for you all that are in different schools, how to prepare yourself, and maybe give you a little pointers to kind of ease the stress of not knowing what to expect in this doctoral program. So again, day 2, I'll be back in a little bit, and we'll keep going forward and see what we do. All right, talk to you soon. Hey, we did it. It's the evening part of day 2. Day 2. For you all to come into Residency, again, I'm talking from, my name is James, again, talking to you from GCU's from GCU's first residency. And I wanted to give you some insight of what to expect on day 2. Day 2 really dealt with the 10 points perspective. You were able to look in how to hone in on it, looking at the different sections in it and how you can make some adjustments. Listen, let me tell you, get with your professor, ask the questions, make sure you understand the 10-point perspective, because you're going to find out what you think you know may not be what it actually is, and what you think you don't know, you probably know more of it. I know that's kind of a tongue twister, it's kind of oxymoron, but I want to let you know this, that they're going to share stuff with you that's going to help you to put this thing together. And it's really simple, because maybe you're like me, I put more thought in it than what I needed to. And then it starts showing you keywords to look for in your actual 10 points perspective, especially when it talks about your topic and your problem statement. And then from your problem statement, you're able to create your research questions, meaning what you're going to be talking about in your lit review. So all that stuff start making sense when they start explaining it to you. You got a gist of what you're trying to do, but when they start breaking it down, you're really going to know what you know, and it makes it a little more easier to complete the rest of the 10 points perspective. Ask as many questions and as often ask questions to make sure that you understand what's being said. Don't let the professor speak too fast to you that you don't get it. And when you have that one-on-one time, which everybody has a quality time, maybe 30, 40 minutes or maybe an hour on Tuesday, you're able to sit with them and ask questions. What I would recommend to you is bring your lead or your top article that you're using to support your dissertation. Write the questions that you have on it. Make sure you understand what the gaps are. And I'm telling you, it's going to be more than one gap on your paper. Don't hone in and say there's going to be one. It may be 3 of them, because the more information that you have, you're going to see how you want to tie all this together to support your topic. Now, don't feel bad that you go in here and they tell you that you need to change this or change that. Come in here with a blank mind. Come in here saying, I need to learn what I need to learn, get what I need to get from here, and go back and tweak and edit whatever you need to do. Open your mind up. Don't limit yourself to saying this is the absolute. But on the other hand, if it's something that you're really passionate about and they tell you that it's not feasible, then have them to explain to you another alternative that maybe you can approach that same thought, but just in another perspective. Don't be surprised if you change from a quantitative to a qualitative, or vice versa, because it's okay, because they're going to explain to you why. But if you're so adamant about doing it one way, then talk to them about how can you go about doing this, if that's what you really want to do. There's some things you're not going to know at this time, and that's what they're here for. Take advantage of the librarian time that you have. Ask those questions. find out how you can go around and make alerts so systems will be able to populate these articles and send it to you so you can look through and see if that's what, anything in there highlights or can emphasize what you're searching on or what you're trying to bring forth. I mean, take advantage of every opportunity that these people give you, and I'm telling you, you're really going to enjoy this. And at the end of all this, take some time for you. Take some time to gather you. This is a lot of information that comes in big bunches, and you're trying to retain all this. What I did, you all, I got me a handheld recorder. I'm not recording what they're doing. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, if you can or cannot. It really doesn't matter to me. But what I do is I take my recorder, and when I hear something that stands out, I quickly do a reminder, hit it, and say, note to self, blah, 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 blah. Cut it off. When it says something else, note to myself, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of time you're trying to write it down, sometimes you're trying to type it, and you miss some of the things that's been shared. It's easy for you to come back and write the notes after you to listen to your notes, to your recording, played back. You can put them in together and stuff. It's easier that way than to sit up here and trying to type or trying to write where they're lecturing. And it's not really lecturing. They're pointing out things that's on the presentation or on the slide, or sometimes it's just written on the board. And it's kind of hard to sit up there and try to gain what's really said and perceive and receive and dissect and all those things that go through your mind while this information is coming, and then be able to write it down and stay in track. So whatever means that you do, some people are using their phone, taking photo pictures of it, whatever works for you, but just be open to it. And keep in mind this, they don't expect you to have everything in place, but they expect to see that you're working to put things in place. Now you're going to leave here, right now, if the day would close out today and I had to go home, I would feel pretty good about my 10 points perspective. I feel like I got an understanding of where I'm going with this and why it's important for me to continue to work on this and bring more clarity to my work, so that when I come back for the next residency, I'll be able to present this in a way, or however, to whomever, that will lead me to the next phase of the dissertation process. It's a beautiful thing, and I see that Grand Canyon has put a lot of effort in making sure that this happens. But you got to remember, you need to put just as much effort into it as well. So if you don't ask the questions, you don't sit up here with an open mind, being subject to change, maybe have to start over from scratch if you haven't done the work. I don't know. But you have to be open to see. And that's all I can tell you. Be open, be open, be open. And get plenty of rest before you come out here, because you're in class from 8 to 5 and they're steady talking. Things are happening. And if you're not careful, you can get into that burned out. I'm going to tell you today, around 3:30, everything shut off. I was like, man, I'm done. And I could say that because I already met with the facilitator or the professor. I've had my points that she wanted to bring out. She shared with me. I did a little bit of writing, but at that time, it wasn't registering. It was just time to shut down, and my mind needed to reprogram. So at where we stand at Grand Canyon, they had a pool out there. So after I got back and the sun went down a little bit, I went and I walked around in the pool for a little bit just to deprogram myself and get ready for another day. Then I came out, here I am giving you this video presentation. So listen, let me tell you, it's doable. It's a great day. Tomorrow we're going to look at taking these 10 points and put on a PowerPoint presentation. This is another opportunity I get to speak one-on-one with the professor again, to start asking some of the things I didn't ask yesterday, or as I put my presentation together, present it to her, that she may review it and see that, recommendations and changes. Whatever it may be, I'm going to take advantage of it. And I'm telling to you directly, when you come here, take advantage of every opportunity. Network. Get with some of the people in the other classes. Tomorrow is my target. That's what I'm doing. I met a couple people today in different classes within the same first residency, but there are other people there in their second and yet third. So I'm trying to get over there and network with some of them, because remember, they're 4 or 5 steps in front of me. So I need to know what they're knowing, and the quicker I can get that information and I can start putting it in my mind and work with it, or to just have somebody I can bounce some thoughts off and to see what they're thinking or where they are in the process, might be a key to helping me to move through this thing a little faster. With that being said, you all, hey, it's time for me to study a little bit. I'm going to try. But if not, I'll get up early in the morning at 3. Yeah, I said 3 in the morning when it's here, because I'm still on East Coast time. And I refuse to change my time just for this. So I get up, take advantage of, do my work or whatever, go down to eat at 7 o'clock, start my day off, and I get to bed somewhat early. So by 10 o'clock this time, I should be somewhere asleep. Usually 12 o'clock back home or whatever it is. but I'm ready to power down. But I didn't want to power down without talking to you and saying to you, hey, you can do it. You just got to put your mind to it. You put your mind to it. Keep your mind open that there may be some changes and there may not be. There might be some tweaking here and there, and there may not be. You may have it all together. But regardless of whatever it is, you're here to learn and take full advantage of the professors that you have around you, networking with some of your people. Connect with people, because you need to surround yourself with people that are going through the process with you, because you might hit a stumbling block and they might be the only people that can pick you up. Hey, I hope I was helpful to you. Hope you enjoy it. But listen, if you do enjoy it, go ahead and do that thing. You know, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because as I move on with this ends, I have more to tell you about. Because remember, I'm talking about, me, dad, father, husband, worker, and learner, doctoral learner. And I want to show you all how I go through my day-to-day process with being that, with the kids running around, trying to study, trying to this. So I'm going to give you a realistic view of what it means to be a doctoral student and a family man. So that's my pitch. That's where we're going. Hey, until I talk to you again, I want y'all to be peace, be happy, and be joyful in everything you do. Put God first and you will be great. Good night.